The 13th, the Pioneer Valley Tip-Off, presented by the Oak View Group, ignites the hardwood in Amherst, Massachusetts, with a clash of high school basketball powerhouses. Throughout the weekend, 10 games will showcase the region's best talent, setting the stage for an unforgettable series of matchups. Tonight's first matchup features the Amherst versus Northampton girls. Alongside Jonathan Mergida, I'm Justin Schwartz. Welcome to the Mullen Center.
And it's going to be a great night. I'm excited. There's Brianna Heafy right now. Last year, she came in, putting up 349 points on the season, going 84 free throws. I'm interested to see if she goes to the free throw line tonight. If she's going to put up a lot of points, I'm excited. It's going to be a good matchup. Northampton's coming in hot, 20-5 last season. Looking to keep that record up. We talked about it a lot on the selection show, and we'll reference that selection show a lot. And then if you look at Amherst, you go back, you got Kira Kafani, 28 points for her, and she also is now looking to have a star and standout season.
Yeah, and Jonathan, the Amherst versus Northampton rivalry is always a big one, the biggest one of the tournament in my opinion. So we're looking to see a great matchup here.
And you know, this is something we look forward to. It's a great start, great series of games, something I'm looking forward to. Can't wait.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mullen Center on campus at UMass Amherst. Sportsmanship is a vital part of athletics. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association and its member schools are dedicated to promoting sportsmanship around the state. During the contest, if you see someone using poor behavior, please notify a member of our staff. The Pioneer Valley Tip-Off believes sportsmanship is of the utmost importance and wants to enjoy the contest in a fun and healthy environment. Thank you for your cooperation.
All right, Jonathan, and right now we are awaiting the tip-off between the Amherst Hurricanes and the Northampton Blue Devils. It's going to be a great matchup. I'm excited to get this Pioneer Valley tip-off started.
Absolutely, and as we see the starting lineups for Northampton, there's Brianna Heafy, right? But she's going to be working the guard alongside Emma Calfins. It's going to be a good matchup, and the ball is live. Here we go.
And we have Heafy, like you just mentioned. She is dribbling at the top of the key, passes it down low to Liv Johansson, but that ball is tipped out of bounds. It will be a Northampton tip-off. Tegan McDonald. Ref's having a little bit of trouble with the clock. What are you looking up for this matchup, Jonathan?
You know, I think it's just the rivalry. I'm excited. I think that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Amherst, Northampton, you know, it's something people talk about, local to the community, local to the area. I'm excited to see how that plays tonight as Heafy shoots a three. And there it goes. It's good.
And just as you mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Bree Heafy is going to be the star of the Northampton team this year. And we just saw her shoot a big three right there as she dribbles the ball at the top of the key right now. Down low, and that is in by Annalise Orville.
Northampton coming out very strong, 5-0 run to begin with in the first minute. And look at that, they just got the ball back.
I was just going to say, as we get an and one right there by Orvek. During the selection show, we did mention that Northampton, a key to their success is going to be their defense there. And we have just seen 2 possessions in a row where they've just been super aggressive, full court pressing and leading to turnovers.
I mean, absolutely. The full court press was very strong in the last 2 possessions for defense as that free throw goes in. And just like that, it's a 6-0 ball game.
Yeah, Jonathan. And we'll see if
8-0, I'm sorry, 8-0.
You're right. We'll see if Amherst is able to do anything here as Mae Fitzgerald dribbles up the court. She passes it to Kira Cuniff, who passes it down low to Aaliyah Hall, who converts. And right, just like that, Amherst is in the game. Quick offensive run right there.
Oh, it's a very quick, fast-paced game to start. I wonder if it's going to stay like this. And, you know, it all dictates clock movement. You got 35 seconds on the shot clock, but these teams don't seem to need it. They don't need 35 seconds.
Right, as that one is out to Heafy, who passes it over, as that one is a foul, I believe. And that will be an Amherst inbound. As Chinapa looks to inbound here, she sees Fitzgerald who passes it up to Chinapa. Sorry, excuse me, that's Chinapa right there at the top, at the elbow. Passes it over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald passes it low, but that one is tipped and stolen by Liv Johansson. And we have M. Calkins, who passes it over to Johansson, who misses. And that one's controlled by Amherst. Amherst looks to get an outlet, but that one is tipped off of Northampton. It will be an Amherst inbound.
You know, a lot of fast breaking, right? Both teams are trying to just get the ball down the court, not really slowing down their offense. And, you know, it just led to, you know, 2 potential turnovers. None took place, but, you know, both sides are really just trying to get the ball down the court very quickly.
You're right. And that one right there is stolen by Northampton. That is already their 3rd or 4th turn or takeaway in this matchup. And like I said, their defense is going to be the key to a win for them.
I mean, okay, and I mean, you know, just off that foul, Northampton, very strong ball movement, right? They're moving the ball quick, they're moving the ball sharp. It's something that is very, very dominant when it comes to an offense.
Yeah, and that one's quickly passed to Liv Johansson, who converts, and it's 10 to Northampton as Amherst looks to inbound it, but Northampton is just taking everything away.
Oh, and a 5-second violation.
Oh, timeout.
Timeout on the floor.
Timeout.
Just before.
Yeah, and we will go to break, and we will be back. All right, Jonathan, we are back as the teams are looking to come out from the timeout. And some things that I've seen so far in this short matchup so far is just Northampton's just aggressive defense.
Oh, absolutely. They are very aggressive from the full court, right? It's not picking up in half court, it's a full court press.
Yeah, as you see right now.
And look, I mean, it's man. It's not a zone, it's a man. Look at that.
And that's a steal, but that one goes out of bounds, and that will be a Amherst inbound again, but we're just going to see Northampton just full court pressing. Ref's dealing with some issues with the shot clock, and they look to inbound it now. Amherst just not being really able to see anything as they dribble that. It's kind of he dribbles that up, but that's a turnover, another one by Northampton. And that one is Annalise Orvek, who gets fouled, and she will get 2 shots at the line.
I mean, once again, you saw a full court press that led to not a trap, but it led to a turnover off a pass, and another quick fast break that led to a foul. Northampton coming out very strong in the first 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, and as that one goes for Orvek, like I said earlier, we mentioned a lot in the broadcast how aggressive that Northampton was last year, and that was ultimately the key to their victory over Amherst, as that one misses, but Amherst controls it after a foul. But yeah, like we were saying, Northampton is just so aggressive on the inbound that it's just hard for Amherst to really get anything going offensively.
Oh, absolutely. But, I mean, if Amherst could get the ball down court, right, just getting it down, I mean, that feels like a mission within itself. But if they can, they've got 2 points on the board. This game's not over. They just got to get it down. And that's another turnover.
Another turnover is right, Jonathan. That one is, I think, turnover number 5 or 6 already. But like you said, it is only the first quarter. You know, Amherst has some time to get back into this. but we'll see how Northampton does. They're running their offense, like we said, through Heafy, who shoots right there, and that one is good for a three-pointer. It is 14-2. But yeah, at the top of the broadcast, we mentioned she was going to be the star for Northampton's offense tonight, and right now we are seeing that.
I mean, look at this. Another potential turnover for Amherst, and Heafy with another three-pointer. That's her second on the game. We got to keep watching the long ball because Northampton could just run away with this game very quickly with the three ball.
You're right, as that one is mishandled by Fitzgerald, and Orvek puts it up, but that one is really well defended by number 15, Aaliyah Hall. And it will be out of bounds, Northampton ball. And again, I mean, it feels like the entire game has been on this side of the court, on Northampton's side. They've just had complete control of the game this whole time. As we see, Heafy passes it over to Tegan McDonald, who finds Michaela Fidenkeves, who puts it down low. But that one is tipped, and that one will be Amherst's ball.
All right, Amherst got it back. Let's see what happens here, right? Whether they could get it up the court and get a shot off, or if it's going to lead to another turnover, it all comes down to that press break. And it might be something that a coach needs to work on, you know, right now. Call a timeout and work on the press break, because there you go, another turnover.
Another turnover. That's going to be, I feel like we're going to be saying that a lot, as Heafy passes that over to Fidenkeves, who puts that up for three. That one misses, but that was taken by Annalise Orbeck, and that will be Amherst's ball after a little scruffle. And we'll see if Amherst can, you know, get the ball in and see if they can get it past half court, because like we've been keep on saying, it's just been a complete domination from Northampton defensively.
First 4 minutes.
And again, that's another turnover, like we just said.
That's what I mean. The first 4 minutes, we got 14 points, another turnover. Northampton has come out extremely strong. What a start to the season for these girls.
Yeah, and like you just said, these are the first matchups of the season for both of these teams. And, you know, if I am Northampton, I'm extremely pleased with how they're playing. As Heafy takes that in the corner, passes that down to Orvek, who puts that up, and that will be a foul called on Aaliyah Hall, and she will shoot two at the line. And, you know, Jonathan, like I said, first matchups for each team. What do you think both teams are looking for this season?
I think both teams are looking for, you know, a better start than last season, or a better finish than last year, right? Neither team went undefeated, right? I think both teams are looking to develop, you know, a better record. But not only that, it's also just developing their players, making their players better, you know, fixing any mistakes that came from last year, you know, and patching those up for this season.
As Orvek misses both at the line, that one is controlled and put in by Liv Johansson. And that's a great play by Northampton, you know, missing both free throws, but getting the rebound and putting it in.
And, you know, it might not have been intentional, right? But nobody's saying it is, right? It's still the idea that they followed their shot, right? Amherst wasn't boxing out on defense and was just able to execute. So it was a good move by Northampton.
As Cunniff was looking to inbound it, she does, as great defense by Fidenkeves in the backcourt, but that one is put up awkwardly by Melanie Vasquez, and that is a travel called on Amherst. It will be Northampton's ball. And Jonathan, what do you think Amherst needs to do better? I think it's the
press break. I think it comes down to the press break. They were able to get a shot off there in that last possession, which is great, but it's got to be more of that. It's got to be a lot more aggressive, getting it up the court, and if they're able to do so, they can get more shots off.
And that one is put up by Heafy. That one is off the rim and will go out of bounds.
It all comes down to the press break for Amherst right now, and I think that's something, if you're coaching, you need to work a play out and fix the press break.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
even setting some screens like we see Fitzgerald do. You know, just like setting screens, finding someone to get open, so at least they can inbound it and avoid the 5 second, which we've already seen Amherst being called of.
I mean, now you got another shot clock you got to worry about, right? It's 10 seconds, not 5, but might be a carry.
That one was a carry, you're right. And, you know, it just seems like Amherst just keeps shooting themselves in the foot. You know, when they do have a good press break, they're turning the ball over in other ways. Like it could be a travel, it could be a carry.
It's very tough when you're down 16-2 and in the first 5 minutes, it's a blink of an eye and you're down 14.
Exactly.
It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure and it's a lot of panic. But hey, you lost 14 points in 5 minutes. You can easily get it back. It's only the first quarter.
Great move down low by Johansson. That one misses. And that will be a travel called on Northampton. It will be Amherst ball. You hear some coaches talking, seeing if they can get anything across their players. But I just think that Amherst just needs to dribble the ball. I feel like they're trying too hard to just find the perfect play. As you see right there, that's great trap by Northampton.
And you see it right on center court. You're seeing a trap. You're seeing the trap at center court. It's not even a trap in the corner. It's a trap at center court. Just there's two people at all time going for the ball.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to move the ball around.
Yeah,
when
and
you see that pressure.
they're also meeting the trap right after they get past half court. And we're talking a lot about seeing it as it's a great play by Heafy, finding finding Calkins down low. She misses. But anyways, back to what we were saying. Northampton is trapping the second that Amherst crosses half court, and that is something that we could say Amherst needs to have a better press break all they want, but it's going to be an intense defensive matchup the whole time as Northampton from right out of the gate just immediately put the pressure on Amherst.
When it comes to dishing the ball out quicker, you just got to pass it off quicker, right?
Yep.
It's just flash, go and go and go.
It's moving without the ball.
That's
it's
it.
Fundamentals.
That's it.
Calc makes both free throws. And again, we see right there another turnover forced by Northampton.
That was a lot better by Amherst, right? We're passing the ball right at the front side of the court, right? They were getting the ball passed a lot faster. It just was one too many passes and not enough dribbling up the court or passing forward instead of passing to the side.
And Northampton is just doing a great job with finding the open person as Biden Kevez puts that one in for two. But Northampton is doing a great job moving without the ball. And Amherst right now, they just don't seem to know. They don't seem to be meshing well. They don't seem to know what their teammates are going to do. And that happens at the beginning of the season. You see a lot of the times throughout the season progresses. Teammates have better chemistry with each other. They're able to find each other and know what they're going to do. But Amherst just isn't seeming to do that right now.
Absolutely. I think team chemistry will build over the season, right? This is the first game of the season. It's the first quarter of the season, right? So it's going to develop and build over time. I think it also just has to be, a leader on the court. It's something we talked about on the selection show with Brianna Heafy, being a leader on the court, 349 points last year. And it's something that, it builds around the court. Her teammates also build because of, her leadership role, as we're going to see another press, and I'm very interested to see how this one goes.
Yeah, and I think that we need to see.
Oh, they fell back.
They did fall back. But look, we're looking to see an immediate trap right there, as that will be a travel on Kira Cuniff, and it will be Northampton's ball. But sort of back to your point that you were just saying, it's very important for any type of team, but especially in high school, that the older people, they sort of take a more veteran role. Leading by example. Like Heafy, she is now a senior, but she wasn't always a senior, and there were people before her, and there will be people after her. But she seems to be not only the best player on the team, but she seems to be leading. She's going up to her teammates and telling them what they're going to do. As right there, she puts up a three, which won't go. But that's a great rebound and putback by Annalise Orbeck. And anyways, yeah, so I just think that in order for Amherst to be more successful, they need to find who that leader is going to be.
See, that was a good press break, right? You're moving the ball down and passing. You're not really putting the ball down. You're just moving it. You're dishing the ball across the court.
Northampton forces another turnover, and that will be put in, and the foul by number 10, Tegan McDonald, as she will go to the line and shoot one. And, we could say all we want. Amherst needs to have a press break. They need to move without the ball. But, we also need to give credit where credit's due. Northampton is doing a great job with their traps, their pressing, as McDonald misses that one. That will go off of Amherst. It'll be Northampton ball. But, yeah, we will, we'll see throughout how the game progresses if Amherst will, start to show a little bit of a leader and see if anyone will take charge. As Calkins dribbles it at the top of the key, passes it over to McDonald, back to Calkins, who passes it low to Johansson. Johansson passes it over to McDonald, who puts that up. That one won't go, and Amherst comes up with the ball.
And once again, they're planning for the trap. You can hear the coaches calling for the trap.
Yeah,
right?
That's great defense by Fighting Kevis, forcing a ball pickup. We'll see if Amherst can get anything going here. I mean, it's almost the end of the first quarter, and they seemingly have put up 3 or 4 shots the whole time. So we'll see how Amherst meshes throughout the rest of the game. As that one is passed over to Tessa Pierce, who passes that down to Maeve Fitzgerald, who puts that up and in.
And that's a great shot, right?
That is a great shot.
They work the shot clock down, honestly. There's nothing wrong with that, working the shot clock down, using all 35 seconds, 35 seconds,
yep.
right? So that is a great possession, right? That is the possession you want. You broke the press, right? You were able to find an open, person, and you got a shot off.
Yeah, and that is the end of the first quarter, and we're going to go to break, and we will be back for the start of the second. And we are back for the start of the second quarter between Amherst and Northampton. The score right now is 24-4, Northampton, excuse me.
And now entering the second quarter, right? I'm looking forward to see how Amherst is able to turn around, the press of Northampton, how they're able to get more shots off in this quarter. It's a whole new quarter. They got to get more shots off if they want to come back in this game.
Yeah, you're right, and we'll see what the coaches said throughout the break to both teams, as another turnover forced by Northampton. But that one is a little bit of an errant throw, and that one will be out of bounds off of Northampton. It will be Amherst ball. And Jonathan, coming into the second quarter of the game, we've seen at least 10 turnovers forced by Northampton, as that one's almost another one. As Hall puts that one up, that one won't go, as that one is a fight for the ball, but that will be Northampton's ball. And like I was just alluding to, turnovers, defense, is going to be the name of the game.
I mean, absolutely, right? And I know I've talked about this on the selection show and how much I hate the sentence, defense wins games, right? Or defense wins championships. It's a combination of everything. It's a puzzle, right? And I think Northampton right now is putting the pieces to the puzzle very quickly into this season. Defensively, offensively, on the free throw line, fast break, press, everything.
Yeah, and Northampton is picking up right where they left off. Last season, they had a 20-5 record. And that obviously is very successful. And that is because of how they've been playing. And that one goes for Heifi, who's just really taken over this game. But like I was saying, last season, Northampton had a really good season. 20-5 is no joke. And we've seen why. They have just completely shut down anything that Amherst has been doing offensively, as that one is going to be a jump ball and will go to Northampton. But, you know, it's just going to be stuff that we're seeing from Northampton that's clearly carried over from last year. Their defense is all we've been talking about. And I know you said you'd hate defense wins championships, but it really, you know, we're seeing defense wins games. Defense is going to be the reason why Northampton is up. Defense is why they're up 26-4 right now. As that one is taken up by, that one is put up and in by number 23, Yarielis Blanchard.
And that was a long two, right? Close to the three-point line, but a great shot. Just like that, you're just going to keep working the ball and get as many shot attempts off as possible.
Keep chipping away. That one is a great pass, but a little bit too high and off the hands of Liv Johansson. But we'll see, you know, that was a great play by Amherst right there with Blanchard's, you know, Blanchard's shot. And we'll see if Amherst can do something like that again, as that one is turned over to Heafy, who looks to put it up, and that will be a foul and a Northampton inbound.
As we got another inbound, but once again, Amherst, or Northampton, excuse me, very aggressive on defense. Once again, getting another offensive opportunity right here. Let's see what they do with it as Heafy shoots.
And that one is fouled, and she will go to the line for 3. And you alluded at the top of the show, she's a really good free throw shooter. And
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Last season, 84 free throw attempts. Here she has a chance to shoot 3 of them, so we'll see. We almost saw a 4-point play, and I love 4-point plays. Everyone knows that. I'm a huge fan of the 4-point play because it just shows good shot selection, you know, following your shot, stuff like that, and selling the foul.
You're right,
and she makes the first one.
Falls. As Heafy is at the line shooting the second out of 3 shots, as that one misses.
Now there's one more. You got to figure out who's got shooter, boxing out. You got to have all 4 inside the 3, ready to box out and ready to get the rebound and ready to push the ball down the court.
Exactly, and you know, when you're playing basketball and the other team is shooting free throws, you're taught to find a man and box him out, as that one goes for Heafy, who hits 2 out of 3 free throws. But you're told to find a man and box him out, as Northampton just forces another turnover with their just aggressive defense, as that one is stolen and put up by Tegan McDonald, who will go to the line for 2.
And another foul by Amherst. I don't believe Amherst has been to the line yet today. And it's just another time we've seen Northampton on the line. Again, free throws are another piece of that puzzle to win a game. So let's see if they're able to make these 2.
And you know, while we have a little bit of a break, I just want to say, you know, as a player, this must be just an amazing experience to be a part of. The Pioneer Valley Tip-Off, you know, I know there's a lot of work that goes into it from, you know, our end, but there's also, you know, as a player, you get to play in the Mullen Center, which is, you know, it's a big-time stadium. Oh, absolutely. In both basketball and hockey, the Mullen Center has a lot of history with the University of Massachusetts, right? And we could talk a lot about the history. You could even probably teach a class at UMass about the history of the Mullen Center, right? And I'm just being able to play at the Mullen Center is a huge accomplishment, let alone anything else. You're right. As that one is passed up at the top of the key to Mighty, who that one goes out of bounds, and it will be an Amherst inbound. And yeah, like we were just saying, you know, this must be an amazing experience for the players, coaches, everyone involved. And that one is inbounded to Blanchard. Blanchard passes that out to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald passes it up to Vasquez. But that one is stolen by number 10, Tegan McDonald. And, you know, for as much as we're talking about Bree Heafy, who puts that one up and gets fouled, for Northampton, Tegan McDonald has had 2 or 3 steals. Like, I feel like other than Heafy, I've been calling her name a lot.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Again, I don't think Heafy's the only one that, and we'll talk about this a lot, right? Johansson's also been putting in a lot of good rebounding and second chance opportunities, right?
As
Northampton,
Orbeck, yes.
right? So Northampton has been working the ball around and has everyone on the court scoring, playing defense, boxing out, right? It's not just one person, it's the entire team. And that's why the score right now is 28-6.
Exactly. As Heafy puts a free throw in, as we were saying, she's a great free throw shooter. And that one will also go in, and Northampton jumps to an early 29-6 lead. As defense, defense, defense. We're gonna keep saying it, and it's gonna be annoying, but it's the reason why Amherst is down, 30-6. So that one, ooh, great play there by Emmy Calkins. And that will be a timeout called by Amherst. And we will go to break, and we will be back. And we are back after that timeout as Amherst looks to inbound the ball. And going into the timeout, we saw just complete domination by Northampton, as that's been just the name of the game, as another turnover there for Amherst. That one was a steal from Orbeck. And there's, you know, just not too much that Amherst is able to do so far.
Yeah, I mean, they're really looking for a way to just get more shot opportunities off, looking for a way to just get the ball down the court. And I think right now Northampton has just been taking over this game, and it wasn't a blink of an eye, right? Within the first 4 minutes, they were double-digit leaders, and now it's a 32-6 game as we got a free throw shooter.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you see Orbeck go to the line as she hits the first one. Northampton's already in the bonus, and, you know, a lot of the fouls that Amherst are, you know, a lot of the reasons why they're fouling is because they're turning the ball over and they're fouling before, you know, Northampton can get a fast break going as Orbeck hits the second.
Absolutely. And it's a lot of loose ball fouls. That's
exactly
what it is. It's just a lot of loose ball fouls trying to just regain possession. It's a struggle to regain possession. That's the problem right now, and it's something they got to patch up at the end of this quarter and fix for the second half.
Exactly. And, you know, if they fix that, you're going to see, you're not going to get Northampton, who's a great free throw shooting team, you're not going to get them at the line all the time. As that one, another turnover, as that one is put up but missed by M. Calkins. As that one is a jump ball and will be Amherst ball. But, you know, we've seen all these turnovers, and Amherst just every time they're being immediately met with just so much pressure. As you see right now, Northampton, they have a full court press going, as that was always tipped, and that would be a foul. But, you know, you just see Amherst, wherever they look, there's someone from Northampton right there.
I mean, yeah, wherever you look, there's someone there. And not necessarily one, there's sometimes two. And that's even scarier.
Exactly.
What's scarier than one, two?
Amherst has a relatively young team. You know, these girls don't have that much experience at the high school level, and being that young, you're immediately met with 2 to 3 defenders. You start panicking. You start, your feet are, jumping. You don't know what to do, as that one is taken by Calkins, and she will go to the line for 2. Another foul on Amherst.
Yeah, I mean, high school sports is where the shot clock really starts. You don't really see that at, the lower levels of basketball or the YMCA levels of basketball. You see it starting high school, and it stays around in college and professionals, and, that's it. But this is where it starts, and that's another element of pressure, because you can't just hold the ball for a minute.
Exactly.
Right, and work the clock down. You got 35 seconds to get a shot off. Sometimes you don't even get a shot off in 35 seconds. You get hit with a shot clock violation.
Exactly, as Calkins hits both free throws right there, and it is a 36-6 game. As we get a whistle from the refs, but don't really know what happened. But yeah, I mean, Jonathan, what do you think Northampton has to do to, keep up this momentum? I mean, they're up by 30 points. So clearly whatever they're doing is working, but, it's sports. You see comebacks all the time. So going into the second half, as there's 4 minutes left, what do you think Northampton has to do?
I'm not, from Massachusetts, but I know a lot of people from New England love the Patriots and that comeback, 28-3. Everyone talks about it, right? In the third quarter, everyone talks about the New England Patriots, and that comeback doesn't mean the game's not over until the fourth quarter horn. That's what I was told. So, and that's in a lot of sports. The last horn dictates the end of the game. So this game's not over yet.
Yeah, as you see Amherst finally able to get something going offensively. But just immediately, double teams all around, and that one is stolen by Bria Hiafi. It seems like whatever Amherst is trying to do, and whenever they cross center court, they're just immediately met with 2 Northampton defenders, no matter what.
I think Hiafi was looking for a foul there, but just 2 Amherst defenders were in the paint there. And it was a tough play, tough shot situation for her, and wasn't able to sell the foul.
As Blanchard turns that one over, and Hiafi is dribbling. She slows it down, passes it over to Fighting Keves, who puts it up but misses, and that one is taken by Melanie Vasquez, but travels, and it will be Northampton's ball. Northampton inbounds that. Hiafi over to Kaiden Bettis, who passes that over back to Hiafi, who puts up a corner 3. That one won't go, but rebound by Johansson. Dribbles, puts that one up, and that's just a great play. Johansson is the center on the team. She is the presence down low, and we get a timeout, and we will be back. And we are back after that quick timeout with 3 minutes, 23 seconds left in the second quarter and first half as Amherst looks to inbound the ball. And Jonathan, going into the halftime, what do you think Amherst has to do just to get a little bit of momentum? Because, sometimes going into the half, you get a little bit of momentum and that carries over and you start chipping away at the lead. So what do you think Amherst needs to do here?
I think it's just getting more shots off, right? They don't have to go in. It's just more opportunities, right? They're not getting the opportunities right now. We have another jump ball. I believe that's Hiafi with the jump ball for the fight and got the turnover. So they just got to get more shots off. And it seems that if they can't do that, they're not going to be able to put more points on the board. and see if he brings up the ball.
She is the point guard of this team. She's directing traffic, as that's great ball movement, and that is a great basket by Fighting Tevez, who puts that in and the foul. That was a great play. You know, I was saying Keefe pointing her teammates, directing traffic, and that was able to find the open woman.
And watch the pass by Johansson, right? That's another great assist by her, opening up, right, an open teammate, forcing the N1. We also saw Johansson right before the commercial break get an offensive rebound and a basket. So, I mean, Johansson's also someone we could talk about a lot throughout tonight, and, you know, someone that's standing out for me right now.
Yeah, that one went in, and Fighting Tevez converts the N1 play. But, you know, Hiafi, Johansson, Orvek, you know, McDonald, almost the entire Northampton starting lineup are players that we could highlight as the end of the first half to be the key contributors of the game. Like, they just have a really good team. Their foot has been on the pedal the entire time. They have not let up.
I mean, and the trap is very, you know, dominant, right? They're not fouling when they're forcing these fast break plays. It's very little plays we have where it's a trap, you know, a reach and foul or something. It's very like just beat up to the spot and force a bad pass and a turnover. Watch.
Exactly.
Another
and you force a bad pass.
And the turnover.
Exactly.
And then a loose ball foul. And that's the rhythm Northampton has. And, you know, people are going to think I got a script in front of me or something, you know. I got no papers in front of me, I promise. But it's just something we've been seeing play after play in terms of Amherst possession as Johansson goes to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, and you see some subs for Northampton who come in. And like you were just saying, you know, Northampton, it seems like they just were the better team coming into this game. They knew what they were going to do defensively, and defense turns to offense in every sport as Johansson misses the first one. And you'll see Hiafi finally being able to sit down a little bit as Imani Power Green comes in, and as well as Tegan McDonald, who I've mentioned her a couple of times with how great she's been defensively. But we'll see, you know, as that one also misses, but a great rebound. But that one was tipped by Amherst, as you see a foul called. But like I was just saying, you know, Northampton was the better team coming into this game. Their coaches clearly knew the game plan. They instilled it in their girls through the first couple of weeks of practice, and it's translating really well here as Northampton has a 41-6 lead right now.
I mean, Northampton is just very dominant when it comes to offensive rebounds, when it comes to beating to the spot and forcing a trap, when it comes to finding an open teammate and giving a shot off, an open look, right? This is what Northampton has been doing for the entire first half, and that's why it's 43-6 right now. Yeah. Let's see what happens on this inbound. I'm very interested to see how Amherst is able to rework their offense press break.
That's a great turnover by Fighting Tevez, who misses the first shot, misses the second, but gets the board again.
Still fighting.
Still fighting.
Still
going.
fighting.
That's been the name of the game for Northampton. Even though they are up by almost 40 points, they are fighting, and they are, you know, not letting up. And that's going to be what their coaches are going to tell them at halftime. Don't let up. You know, they're trying to win the game. They're trying to set the season off on a very high note, and we'll see how the rest of this half plays out.
You know, I know it's Friday the 13th, but this is very spooky what's happening in Amherst right now, and I don't think Amherst's girls team expected this coming into today. A 46-3 opening first half with 2 minutes left. As a three-pointer goes off, that's no good. And Northampton's got the ball back.
Yeah, and that one is taken up by Tegan McDonald. Tegan McDonald is a senior, so alongside Bree Hiafi, they are the two seniors on this team. That one is put up by Imani Power Green, which misses. But great rebound by Fighting Tevez, who passes that out to McDonald, passes that over to M. Calkins, who great pump fake, a great pull-up jumper, just misses. That would be a jump ball. But like I was saying, Tegan McDonald and Bree Hiafi, two seniors, they've been the leaders on this team, and they've been the people who I feel like I've been calling the most.
Oh, absolutely. That last possession, we saw 4 passes, 0 dribbles, and we just, they got the offensive rebound. It didn't go in, but they're just moving the ball around quick. It's flashing passes off quick to your teammate and not giving your Amherst defense even a second to try to get a turnover, as we did just see a turnover there. So, yes. See, I don't got paper in front of me. See, I'm wrong sometimes.
Exactly. Very, very unpredictable turnover by Northampton. As you see, Northampton's team is looking a little bit different now. You have Jada Ford in, you have Amani Power Green, and you have Rose Fallon. So they have, more of their reserve players in right now, but, they're still up by almost 40 points. You're able to do that when you're up by that much.
And this has been a great first half. It's still to come at halftime. We got a rapper here at the Mullins Center. I'm excited. Rapper Hooper James is going to be here doing a live performance, and that I'm looking forward to, as we have just a little over a minute left in the first half.
Exactly, yeah, that will be a great performance at halftime, and we'll see how Northampton and Amherst closes this first half out. As McDonald passes that one over to Power Green, excuse me, as that one is quickly passed and put in by Rose Fallon, as Northampton extends their lead 45-6. And that's great defense right there by Jada Ford, staying with Melanie Vasquez every step of the way. And that one is another turnover by Amherst. We keep saying all the things that we think that Amherst can do, but they're not helping their case when they're turning the ball over like they've been. And
I just think it's tough, right? You're in a situation where you're down 39 points in the first half, and it happened quick, and you just don't know what to do at this point. You're kind of just looking for something. You're trying to find some momentum, and it's just they're not able to find it right now.
Great job by Power Green fighting for her own rebound, but that one was blocked and will be Amherst ball.
And this will probably be the last half or possession of the first half, unless, it's a quick basket or we see, a foul or something. But I'm expecting this to be the last possession going into halftime.
Yeah, as Sama Madi is just pressured by two Northampton defenders. She takes that one up the court, but a little bit of an errant dribble, and that one goes out of bounds.
And we're going to have another possession. This should be the last one now with 7.3 seconds left in the first half. And it will be Northampton. But look, Northampton wasting no time, already moving up the court, trying to maximize the amount of time they have, which is very limited. It's good if it goes. No good.
That one will miss. And that is the end of the first half, as Northampton takes a 45-6 lead into halftime.
And this has been a great first half for Northampton. Northampton came in strong. Johansson was dominant, getting rebounds, using the box down low, and just putting a good two-pointer. Brianna Healy was strong from behind the arc, from the free throw line. Had three free throw shots in a row, and Amherst was just looking for something, only putting up 6 points in the first half. Very limited shots, but when they were shooting, they went in. It was just very little opportunities that they've had when they've had the ball.
And we will be looking forward to this halftime performance and see you guys in the second half.
And we now have a performance by rapper Hooper James. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's going to be good.
I make music. I got my audio recording and production certificate. I'm from outside of Boston, and I lived there for 3 years, and I love it out here. So let's have some fun, Can you turn it up a little bit? Please. A little more, please. I got people here. All right, we're gonna do it. Let's go. Okay, ready? If you say you ain't with it, that's okay. We over with. We gonna be terrific. We gon' back around over shit. Speedy got a ticket. That's all right, 'cause I own the trip. I'm specific, make them like you. Over it. East to the west, to the west. I'm not doing with beaches and basketballs and birds running anonymous. Teaching these lessons to kids. Just go like this. You guys can catch on. Ready? They like Hoover. Can you move? I'm like, yeah, and I'm cute. I'm on many rosters. Sometimes I play the two. I got that money posture. The way I stand up in the booth, I'm at Benny Hunter. I like the way they put my food, stank face like it was rude. I remember getting booed, and I took it all to heart. Now this money on my move. Now these lanes can even start. I got different types of shoes. I just add them all to cart like Alan Cart. They up in Roof Chris. Take my family and my family be like, who is? Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. All right, yo, like I said, I love Western Mass. I got a song that I kind of wrote about it. So I'm gonna have them play
And we are back for the start of the second half. We have the Northampton Blue Devils with a score of 45 to the Amherst Hurricanes score of 6. And I'm Justin Schwartz alongside Jonathan Regita. It's great to be back.
Oh, it's great. This is the Pioneer Valley tip-off. This is a list and a series of 10 games local to the community, local to the area. And this is the first of the 10 series. And it's going to be throughout the entire weekend. I'm excited. Can't wait. Looking forward to the second half.
Yeah, and as Amherst inbounds the ball, just want to focus on some key first half stats.
Oh yeah, and absolutely. 32 turnovers was from Amherst in the first half. 19 steals, that's 20 right there. And 20 fouls. Almost thought we were gonna see 21. It was very close, but we didn't there. But 20 fouls in the first half for Amherst. Looking to see how they could turn that around in the second.
Yeah, and you said it, 20 steals. That's just a crazy amount of steals. Amherst has turned the ball over 32 times, or 33 now, and it's hard to win a game if you're turning it over that many times.
Absolutely, and I think it just comes down to multiple factors, right? There's probably a lot of factors you could talk about, probably do an hour segment on it, the factors that could cause the turnovers or something. But, it could vary, whether it's team chemistry or just bad communication. But I think it comes down to this: when there's 32 of them, there's got to be something that you need to fix coming out of the second half. The first 5 minutes of the third quarter is what I consider the most important. And it's my opinion, but I consider it the most important. Because it's coming out of halftime. The coach just, spent 12 minutes talking to his team. And now it's got to be, rapid fire. Especially if you're Amherst, you got to be rapid fire trying to cut down this lead. Because it's a 41-point differential.
Exactly. I was just going to say, Amherst finds himself down 41 by a deficit of 41. It's 47-6. And, like we said, 33 turnovers, 20 steals from Northampton. They've just had their foot on the gas the entire game. You see the leading scorer for Northampton, Bree Heafy, with 12 points in the first half. And you have three scorers for Northampton with over double-digit points in Tegan McDonald, Annalise Orvek, and Bree Heafy. So, Northampton they have a game plan. They've executed it really well. And another turnover there by Amherst.
And here comes Northampton again with a fast break opportunity and a foul.
Yes, Orvek will go to a line. She's been at the line quite a few times so far for Northampton as part of her 10 points coming into the second half.
As Northampton makes the first free throw.
Yeah, and Northampton getting to the line, forcing turnovers, shooting their open shots, making their open shots. That's been the key to their success. It doesn't take a great basketball mind or fan to see how they're winning.
And another foul.
You're right, another foul from Amherst. And Jonathan, what do you think Northampton has to do in the second half?
I think Northampton just has to keep playing basketball. Not necessarily keep your foot on the pedal as aggressively in the second half, but you don't want to take it off completely. Like, that's a great offensive rebound and put back by Northampton.
Orvek, yes, exactly.
Orvek, once again.
We've been calling her name a lot as well. It's not just Bree Heafy who we highlighted as the player to watch for Northampton coming into this game. It's players like Tegan McDonald, who's on defense right now, Anna Orvek, Liv Johansson, all of these players. That's another turnover force as Orvek will put that one in as Northampton extends their lead to 52-6. And if you're a player on Amherst, you just have to feel how important is it? How important is it to, try and keep spirits up on the bench, try and radiate positive energy when you're down by this much?
It means a lot, right? It's a long season. This is only the first game. And I know we talked about this on the selection show, the sprint versus the marathon. And as we watch this last basket by Northampton.
Steal by Heafy with a great pass to Orvek. And, open layup, she's going to make that 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the highlight right there that says the entire story of the game. The defense leads to a fast break opportunity for Northampton, which led to a basket. It's the story of the first half, and it seems to be continuing in the second.
Exactly, and defense leads to offense in any sport. As that one is put up but missed by Emmy Calkins, and that one will go out and will be Amherst ball. And Amherst, sort of like what you were saying, it's very important, and especially when you're down by this much, to try and rally your team back into this game. You're in a position where winning the game is going to be something that would be very impressive if they were able to do that. But even, having a better closing to the game than you opened it, and how that can translate to their next games on the schedule. Momentum is something that can transfer from one quarter to another, one half to another, but also one game to another. If you finish a game stronger than you started it, that can translate to starting the next game better than you started the previous one.
Absolutely. If you have a good, strong fourth quarter and your first quarter wasn't good, it's not necessarily going to mean you're winning or you won the game, but it still could be a momentum.
Exactly.
It could be something you watch when you watch back film Monday morning, and you just watch it back and say, all right, this is what we did well, right, in the fourth quarter, and now we just need to be able to trickle that down to the third, second, and first as well.
Exactly. And we will see if Amherst is able to get a little bit more going offensively, as Vasquez dribbles that one up, but that one is called a foul off of Northampton. As Amherst will inbound the ball. And we will see what they're able to do here. Northampton has just been everywhere on defense. That's another steal. That one goes to Hatteras Lewis, as that one is dribbled up by Hiafi, who is pressured, but makes a strong move to the basket, as that one is called a Amherst foul. And it will be 2 shots at the line for Hiafi. This Pioneer Valley tip-off, presented by Oakview Group live broadcast, is sponsored by the Valley Blue Sox. The Valley Blue Sox are a premier summer baseball team competing in the New England Collegiate Baseball League. With over 75 MLB draft picks, the Blue Sox have been one of the go-to spots for collegiate baseball players with eyes on the next level. Come out next summer to Mackenzie Stadium in Holyoke, Massachusetts to catch the Blue Sox live. As Hiafi hits the first one, and we'll see what she can do with this second shot here.
We're live at the Mullins Center, and the Mullins Center is home to a lot of UMass legends. Kel McCarr, Julius Irving, Al Skinner. There's a lot of legends that you think about when you talk about the Mullins Center and UMass history.
Exactly, and we will see a UMass men's basketball game tomorrow at the Mullins Center as well, as Hiafi puts that one up and in and converts both of her free throws as Amherst inbounds the ball. But like you were just saying, the Mullins Center, it's a great place to be. Hockey games especially, they get insane student support here. The hockey team has been one of the best teams one of the best programs in the country for a long time. And just recently winning the national championship in 2021 and making it to making it far last season as well. And so, the Mullins Center, like we were saying in the first half, for these high school players, it's a great experience, this Pioneer Valley tip-off, as Hiafi puts that one up and in.
That's a great shot.
For a three-pointer.
It's a great three-point shot, That's her range, three-point shot. And if you're not contesting it, Hiafi's just going to take it and it's going to score.
Exactly, and normally every drive that Northampton has, you see Hiafi dribbling it up, but sort of slowing things down and directing her teammates around. But she'll shoot, and we've seen that many times this game so far. Like, she's not afraid to shoot if she's given an open shot, and even if she doesn't make it, she'll still shoot.
Yeah, absolutely. Hiafi's just dominant, and that's another great look by Northampton.
Yeah, great pick and roll there. Fortunately, Anna Orvek does not convert on that pick and roll, but you see that was a great play that Northampton did, finding space, finding a hole in the Amherst defense, and being able to get a high percentage chance. That one is tipped and will go off of Amherst. Another Amherst turnover. as you see right there, that pass by M. Calkins. That was a great pick and roll. Great cut to the basket as well by Orvek. You know, she wasn't able to convert, but still great play. And you see Calkins put that one up, but that will miss, and Amherst will come out with that ball. But an errant pass right there, throwing it right to Heafy as Heafy puts that one up and in. And Northampton extends their lead 59-6.
And, you know, Heafy just once again playing 4 quarters of basketball. It's something that a coach watches when you're recruiting for college is, will you play 4 quarters even when you're up 59-6? How do you play in situations like this? Exactly. This is something recruiters should watch more than a tight game in overtime, exactly. I think, in my opinion. Because it's worth that thing.
Yes, and if the roles were reversed and Northampton was down 59-6, how do players respond to that? You know, do they play still? You know, they're down by 53 points. It's not easy as a player to be down by that much, but you know, recruiters are looking for how you respond in situations like that. And for a player like Heafy, how you're going to lead a team like that.
Absolutely, it's a worth ethic. This is something college coaches talk about all the time, is worth ethic. I know I interviewed Fran O'Leary before. It was the men's soccer coach who had a devastating loss just last week, you know, and they went far.
They made the Elite Eight.
They did fantastic, you know, and something he always emphasizes is worth ethic, how your team is. You know, when you're down 2 goals or you're up 2 goals, it's something they talk a lot about in soccer because 2 goals is scary. It's like worse than being up a goal.
Exactly.
So,
in hockey, you hear the same thing. A 2-0 lead or 2-goal lead, excuse me, is one of the worst leads you can have.
Absolutely.
And it's very important for, you know, both teams. One being Northampton being up by this much, but also Amherst being down by this much, as that one won't go for Heafy, is seeing how these players respond to being in the situations that they're in. As that one will be out of bounds and Amherst inbound. So, third quarter, 2:25 left, 59-6 Northampton. And we're looking to see how both of these teams respond to being in the situation that they're in, as coaches are communicating with their players a little bit, and Northampton will inbound the ball. That one goes to Heafy, who sizes up at the top of the key. That one goes down to Orvek, who misses that layup, but gets the rebound and puts that one back in. That's a great play right there by Northampton, as Heafy found Fighting Kevez, who found Orvek, who got the second chance rebound. And Northampton, they've been dominating on the offensive glass. They've been getting a lot of second chance points off of rebounds that they're getting. And another reason why they're up right now is 61-6.
And let's see how Amherst is able to execute the possession here. Still to come tonight, we got another game here at the Mullins Center. It's your Amherst boys versus your Northampton boys, and we'll see how that game plays out too. It's a big rivalry, these two teams, so
exactly.
I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah, and that one is put up but misses by Tessa Pierce. But we said in the selection show, I know I highlighted it, Northampton versus Amherst boys is my key matchup of the Pioneer Valley tip-off this weekend. It's always one of the biggest games of the weekend. You're going to see a rowdy crowd. You know, both of these local teams, you know, one being in Amherst, one being in Northampton, which is right outside of Amherst. So that will be a great game coming up after this one, as that one is at the top of the key, but that one goes off of Sama Mehdi's foot. That is a foul call on Northampton. Will be an Amherst inbound. So 61-6, Jonathan. And what would you say has been the bright spot for Amherst's offense?
I think the bright spot right now, and I know no one can really pinpoint it out, but I think I can. And I think what it is still playing aggressive and just looking for an open teammate. I mean, if you look right now, right, they just drive into the basket. An offensive foul there, but it's just, you're trying to find something. I think right now it's just passing the ball, and you want to just look for an open teammate. Also setting screens, you want to try to work the offense, and I think right now they're just giving up a little bit, sadly.
Yeah, and I agree. You know, like we were saying, Amherst is down by a lot. They're 61-6 right now. But they're still, you know, they're still playing hard. They're still playing through whistles. like right there, fighting for every rebound. And that just goes to show the type of team that Amherst is. Because again, like, it's very easy when you're down by this much to just sort of lay up and stop trying as much and all that stuff. But for them to be playing as hard as they are, being down by as much as they are, that just goes to show the grit of this Amherst team.
And I think it also goes to show, right, for Northampton is still going, right? Playing 4 quarters of basketball as we enter the last 30 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Northampton still playing aggressive, picking up at half court, beyond the key. And look at that. We got a 5-second violation.
You're right. As Yarlis Blanchard is screaming at her teammates, trying to, get them riled up, she held the ball for a long time there, trying to find the open woman. That one is put up by Rose Fallon, and that one is taken away by Blanchard. Blanchard, I will say, for Amherst, has been playing hard this entire game. As you see right there, a nice little behind the back. She misses, but she's been playing extremely hard, and she's been extremely passionate. And
she's been extremely passionate. You could see it, when she gets a foul call on her, she's still like being aggressive and passionate about the game. Watch on this inbound. I'm expecting her to get the ball, her to try to create some offense, maybe even get a shot off.
As the last.
The travel violation.
Yeah, like we were saying, but like travel violation or not, Blanchard has been my bright spot for the Amherst offense as the 3rd quarter comes to a close. Northampton is up 61 to Amherst 6, and we will be back at the start of the 4th. And we are back alongside Jonathan Mergida. I'm Justin Schwartz. As we come into the 4th quarter with Northampton up 61-6 against Amherst. And a quick little note, Amherst hasn't scored a basket since the start of the 2nd quarter. And Northampton has.
I mean, that's a crazy statistic, right? I love statistics, but it also just shows how aggressive Northampton has been and just picking up at half court every time, if not full court. The press has been very strong for Northampton, and I do not expect them to let down here in the 4th quarter. I don't expect it at all.
I don't expect it either, as you might see more of Northampton's players who, not the starters, but you're still going to see the same philosophies, the same game plan that the coach has implemented. And going back to that point, Amherst hasn't had a basket since the beginning of the 2nd quarter. So it's been quite some time as Amherst actually comes away with this steal. That one's Melanie Vasquez, who is met by Tegan McDonald, who has to slow things up. That one is Blanchard, who puts that one up and misses in and out. And that will be an Amherst inbound. But, that right there, like I was saying towards the end of the 3rd, Yarlis Blanchard for Amherst has been their bright spot. And right there, she might not have made it, but she still shot it. And that she, I'm looking at for her to be a little bit more aggressive with her shooting in this quarter. Just, as right there, she gets fouled. But, even if she doesn't make it, getting shots up, because that can, that we see it with Northampton. Northampton puts a shot up, they miss it, but then they get the rebound and they get the second chance point. So, if Blanchard can do that, or Amherst for that matter, if they can just get some more shots up, crash the board, box out, maybe we'll see a little bit more of a fight as Blanchard hits the first one.
And that's their first point in close to 9 minutes, if not more than that.
You're right. And we'll see Blanchard shoot the second here, as she goes 2 for 2 and extends the lead 61-8. This Pioneer Valley tip-off, presented by Oakview Group Wide Broadcast, is sponsored by the Valley Blue Sox. The Valley Blue Sox are a premier summer baseball team competing in the New England Collegiate Baseball League. With over 75 MLB draft picks, the Blue Sox have been one of the go-to spots for collegiate baseball players with eyes on the next level. Come out next summer to McKenzie Stadium in Holyoke, Massachusetts to catch the Blue Sox live. As that one is passed down low to Johansson and puts that one in, extending the lead to 63-8. Excuse me.
And Johansson dominant once again, gets a good pass down low and just goes right up with it.
Yeah, and for Northampton, Johansson and Orvek, both the forwards for Northampton, have been really dominant on the rebound, both offense and defensive rebounds. I've mentioned earlier, after one of them scored a second chance point, I think it was Orvek, they've just followed the shots. They follow the shots, they box out, and they get the second chance points, and that's a key to win any basketball game.
And Healy might be a senior, but Johansson and Orvik are both sophomores. They're going to be on this team for another 2 more years after this, and that team chemistry is already working. I can't wait to see what they're like when they're in their senior year. I can't wait, because the team chemistry between these two is very strong in terms of ball movement and looking for an open teammate.
Exactly, and you see right there, even though Fallon doesn't get that one to fall, they're finding the open person, and they're immediately putting shots up. They're not hesitant, they're not second guessing. They're finding the open woman, immediately putting a shot up. It doesn't matter if they don't make it. They're up. They're at a position right now, being up 63-8, that they can afford to miss some shots, but they're still, we said at the start of the fourth quarter, Northampton isn't letting up, and that's been the key to them winning right now. Or one of the keys, one of the many keys. As that one is passed down low to Aaliyah Hall, who puts that one up, but that one is off the iron. And Power Green passes that down to Fighting Tevez, as that one goes in, extending the lead to 65-8.
That was a strong fast break opportunity. They actually, I believe, had a 3-on-1 advantage at one point, just hustling down the court and finding an open teammate. Northampton is not slowing down. It is crazy. They've gone 4 quarters, and since the opening jump, they have not put their foot off the pedal. It's amazing.
Exactly, and the first thing I remember saying in the broadcast after the tip-off was, wow, Northampton is immediately pressing. And it's halfway through the fourth quarter, and it's the same thing. They're up 65-8. They could be down 65-8. Their game plan is going to be the same regardless, and that's been a big reason why they're looking so dominant. And on the other side, Amherst, they're scrappy. They're not as, I don't think they came into this game as ready as Northampton is, as that one falls for Hatteras Lewis. But I don't think Amherst came into this game with as solid of a game plan, or as, I don't know if they were as knowledgeable as what their roles are as Northampton is. And
Amherst came out 32 turnovers, right, going into halftime. I don't know what it's at now, but it's more than 32. And not only that, though, they went an entire quarter without scoring. So now Amherst needs to go to the drawing board on Monday at practice. You need to see what went wrong, how can we work this team. Again, it's a regular season game. It's the first game of the season. There's been Super Bowl teams, World Series teams, NBA teams that lose the first game of the season. Nobody says you have to win the first game of the season to win the championship. At the end of the day, though, it's an opening momentum, and it seems here Northampton has a lot of momentum.
Exactly, as that one falls for Fighting Kevez, extending the lead. Was Northampton is up 60 now, 68 to 8. As Fighting Kevez looks to shoot another free throw. And yeah, like what you said, now Amherst needs to go back to the drawing board, watch the film, see what went wrong. I mean, I'm sure they already know what went wrong. That's what good coaches do. They start, they take mental notes throughout the games of what they already want their teams to improve on for the next ones. But yeah, Amherst just needs to go back to the drawing board and see what they could do for next game.
And we got a foul.
Yeah, as Fighting Kevez goes back to the line. She's been looking really good all game. I mean, I know we haven't called her name as much as we have with, players like Heafy, McDonald, Johansson, and Orbeck, but she's been doing really well. She's been finding open shots. She's been driving to the paint, and she's been shooting free throws. I mean, she just shot 2 free throws prior to this, so she hits the first one. And yeah, I'd say that Michaela Fighting Kevez has been doing really well this game.
Oh, absolutely. And I think what it also comes down to is the fact that Northampton, once again, being on the free throw line, just shows being aggressive on offense, not letting go, and keep going and playing 4 quarters of basketball, which is great.
Exactly. And right there, you see Lewis tipping that. It went out of bounds, but still, we've said it before, we said it again. They're not letting up on defense. And that's just been it's been surprising to see, especially being up this much. You normally would expect you expect the team in front to sort of lay up a little bit, being up by over 60, but you haven't seen that with Northampton here.
And here comes Northampton again on offense. Good ball movement, down low, dished it to the side of the key for 3. No good.
No good, but
offensive rebound,
right there,
though.
Offensive rebounds. That's what we've been seeing this whole game from Northampton. Offensive rebounds, offensive rebounds.
And they will retain possession as we have subs. Once again, still to come tonight, Amherst boys versus Northampton boys. Once again, the matchup, probably what some people say is the matchup of the weekend, right? Big rivalry. I can't wait. And I can't wait for that commentating team as well.
Exactly.
Very good.
Yeah. It will be a really good matchup, and I'm excited to see the outcome of that.
It's I believe it's Andrew Samaha and John Ruggiero doing the call on that, so I can't wait for that as well.
As Amherst dribbles up here, but you see right there, Lewis tipping the pass, and you see her pressing both. She's basically playing defense on 2 players at once right now, and it's causing Amherst to panic. It's causing them to, like right there, you see that's a double dribble. You've seen travels, you've seen carries. You've been seeing so many, just errant mistakes by Amherst that come from being just pressured and having to think very quickly. And as we've said a couple times so far, Amherst is not as experienced as Northampton. They have a lot of young players, and so these are all learning things that they can learn on going into next game.
Absolutely. It's things to learn. It's things to think about when it comes to the playoffs. It's things to think about when you face this team again, right? There's still going to be people on this team that are here next season.
Exactly.
And it's something to note when you come back to the Mullen Center for the PVTO.
Exactly, and we will see Rose Fallon, at the line, as Northampton is up 69 to 8. As as Fallon misses the first one, and we will see her shoot the second one here. As that one also misses, and Amherst comes up with the rebound, but you see right behind her, Emmy Calkins with the pressure, and Amherst just gets a backcourt violation, another turnover for them, and that one goes back to Northampton. Bree Heafy travels right now, passes that down to Orbeck, but that one goes over the backboard, and it will be Amherst ball.
I mean, Orbeck has been dominant. I mean, we know we just saw that shot from her that went over the backboard, but she has been dominant on both sides of the court, offensively and defensively, when it comes to rebounding, pass, assists, forcing turnovers. Very strong. And again, someone that will be here next year for Northampton.
Exactly. And we're looking to her to sort of, after a player like Heafy and McDonald graduate next year, it's like you said earlier, Annalise Orbeck and Liv Johansson, they're both sophomores, so they're going to be here for the next 2 years, and they're going to move into those leadership positions. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you. She's been very dominant this game. She's been all over the glass. You know, she's been really good defensively, and she's, more importantly, she's been getting to the line. She's been boxing out and doing all the things that you need to do in order to win games. As that one is missed by Lewis, and she will shoot a second one here. So just over 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Northampton is up 70 to 8, and we will see how these last 2 minutes play out. But it's been a fun first game so far, and you know, like we've been saying, there's going to be a great matchup the next one with Northampton boys versus Amherst boys.
Yeah, it's been a great first matchup. I'm looking forward to the next one as we have another turnover and fast break opportunity by Northampton.
As Heafy with a great pass there over to Emmy Calkins. Great play there by Heafy as you see her reading the eyes of Amherst, jumping the passing lane and, you know, traveling down court, seeing the trailing Calkins and passing it over for an easy layup.
You know, and it's just that fast break opportunity. Again, there's 90 seconds left in the fourth quarter, right? You're up 72 to 8. Most coaches would say slow it down. Northampton just keeps going. They're not taking their foot off the pedal. They have it tonight, and they're just still going. It's a very strong performance. This might be the team of the weekend with their dominance on offensively and defensively. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
we have a long weekend.
We do have a long weekend. We will be back after tonight's matchup. We have 2 more games tomorrow, and Sunday we have a day full of games. So it's going to be an exciting weekend here from the Mullen Center as Amherst gets their 10th point of the game. But Heafy just complete control of the Northampton offense. That one's a travel and will be a turnover from Amherst. Yeah, but you see right there, that's a great pass over from Sama Maidi to Aaliyah Smith, who converts right there with the easy layup. And you see, you know, Amherst, you see their bench there. After that, their bench, everyone's getting up, everyone's cheering. You know, when you're down by that much, you know you're not going to win at this point in the game, but it's still important, you know, to have fun with your teammates, enjoy the experience that they're having right now, and ultimately, you know, obviously they want to win the game, but learning from this and seeing what they can do the rest of the season. You know, it is only the first game of the season for both teams as Heafy hits the 3, and that will be extending the lead 75 to 10 to Northampton as there is just about 25 seconds left in the game.
I mean, a very dominant performance. We've been talking about it all night. It started right off the jump, and it's going to go horn to horn from the first horn to the last. You know, here comes Healy again. Fast break with 10 seconds left in the fourth. And that's a carry.
Called a double carry, excuse me. But don't really matter too much as there's 8 seconds left, and it's looking like Amherst tries one more time, but that one goes out of bounds. Northampton will inbound the game, and it will be a final score of 75 to 10. Northampton with a just completely dominant win here, kicking off the Pioneer Valley tip-off tournament.
And it started in the first quarter for Northampton, where they went off strong. Healy was dominant, great ball movement, and Northampton was dominant from the first quarter all the way to the last. There was a steal by Healy that led to another basket. I mean, this team just kept going.
Yeah, and you see the ball movement. You see the ball movement from. Yeah, you see the ball movement from Northampton. You see just how well they're meshed together, and just a player to highlight. Over to you, John.
I mean, Orbeck, 17 points, 6 rebounds this game, dominant on both sides of the court. And I mean, that is just a testament to how strong Northampton played. And I'm looking forward to the next matchup with Amherst boys and Northampton boys still to come tonight.
Yes.